Greetings, fellow YouTubers! How are you all today? This is going to be a science episode with me, Dr. Zombie Trainer. Yeah! Dr. Kel will do. I think that'd be much nicer. This is going to be my science episode of Beastly Body Bits, episode number 1. Beastly Body Bits is going to be about your body. And it's a fun science thing, so let's hit it up with a fun intro, yeah! Fun science, science can be fun. Beastly Body Bits fact number 1. Your body has 206 bones in its skeleton, give or take a few. Beastly Body Bits fact number 2. An adult actually has about 2 square meters of skin when you lay it out. Yeah. Beastly Body Bits fact number 3. You have about 8 meters of guts. Yeah, you do. Beastly Body Bits fact number 4. You have about 5.5 litres of blood in all your tubes. So, capillaries, veins and arteries. That was in order of increasing size. Aren't I just so clever? Beastly Body Bits fact number 5. Do you know that you actually have about 600 muscles all connecting inside of you? Ooh, that's interesting. Hey. Okay, so now let's do some facts about bits of your body. Let's go ahead and start with the skin. So your skin is basically a huge waterproof, germ-proof outer covering. It's like the best clothes you can ever own, and it actually repairs itself when it gets damaged. It also has its own heating and cooling systems. Skin wraps around the rest of the body bits to keep them all in position. Now let's try your fabulous fat. You have a nice layer of snuggly fat underneath the skin. Slabs of fat also wobble around your stomach and hips area. So your fat cells are basically storage cells. If your body doesn't really know what to do with the sugars that you've just ingested, it'll turn into fat cells, so you can use it later. So when you go for a jog in the morning, you'll burn off some of those fat cells because you're using them. So if you're planning on going on a diet, it's not the 99% fat-free things that you want to look out for. Fat is actually good for you, except saturated fats. Those ones are nasty. But fat is actually good for you. It actually helps the body, and the body actually knows how to process it. Unlike sugar, processed sugars, your body doesn't actually know how to process. So if you don't burn them off almost immediately, then it just converts to fat cells because your body doesn't really know what to do with it. So, now we'll go to your eyes, your ears, and your nose. Now these are basically your most important features, because without your eyes you couldn't see, without your ears you couldn't hear, without your nose you couldn't smell, in that order. So they're actually really important. As you all probably know, you all have 5 active, well-known senses. There are actually 9 senses, but let's just stick to 5 for now. I'll put a link in at the end of the video for Charlie Is So Cool Likes a video on the 9 senses if I can find it. So yeah, he explains the 9 senses, which is kind of cool and very interesting if you're interested in sciencey stuff. So do check out his video. I'll put the link in right at the end so you can check that out. So, your eyes, ears and nose. Basically, if you got rid of these 3 things, you'd only have 2 more senses left for you to discover the world. Guess what those are? Yep, taste and touch. So imagine discovering everything with tasting it and touching it. I don't think I'd want to taste nor touch a lot of the things in this world that I can see or hear or smell. I mean, what if you were to discover dog poo and didn't know what it was? So you had to touch it, and if you couldn't figure it out by touching it, you'd then have to taste it because you couldn't see, hear or smell it, even though you can't really hear it, but you know. So, your nervous system, yeah! So the nerves basically act as a signalling system. Your nerves tell your brain sort of what's going on. All your nerves are hooked up into your brain, and then your nerves tell your brain what's going on, and then your brain tells the rest of your body, your muscles and tendons, to move accordingly. your nerves, it goes all over your body, but the main nerves are right up your spine. So that's why when people break their neck or their back, wherever that break was, sometimes they can actually be paralysed from that point, from that break down, because they've damaged the nerves there. And because the nerves can't send those signals back to the brain because there's a break, or a damage in the nerve there, the brain doesn't know what to do, what to move them. So it's not the muscles or tendons or bones that's affected when you break something. It's not the muscles that sort of lose, you know, the workingness of them. It's actually the fact that your nerves can't get a signal to your brain because there's a break in the nerve, and you can't, you know, signal things to your brain. And your brain can't signal back either. So if your leg was in like fire and your nerves are going, oh my god, what's going on here? Ow, ow, that's really hot. Your nerves are sending a message to your brain, but that break, wherever it may be, is going, I'm not letting you through. So your brain actually doesn't know that you're in something hot. Yeah, so your brain doesn't know to move your leg out of the way. So even though you're seeing it and you're going, I should really move my leg out the way, your brain can't tell your muscles to do that. Everything's happening up here, but your muscles aren't getting the signal. So your muscles are going, what's going on, guys? I don't know. Should we move? I don't know. Should we not? Brain didn't tell us anything, so I guess not. So that leads us to the brain. Your brain is basically your think tank. It's basically your central computer. It does almost everything. Even some things that you don't actually know are going on, like breathing. You don't actually know that's happening. Well, you know it's happening, but you're not very conscious of it. You breathe subconsciously. You breathe naturally. Whereas some animals, like dolphins, actually have to think about breathing. We breathe because we just naturally breathe. Whereas a dolphin actually goes, I should probably breathe her out now. Yeah, I should probably breathe again. Do you know that you actually only use 10% of your brain? Our brain is the most technological thing we know in the universe. I'm sure there's probably much more technological things out there in the universe. As a Doctor Who lover, I tend to believe that there's lots of other life around, and I kind of hope there is, because I'm curious like that. Alright, so your skeleton. Like I mentioned earlier in the fun facts, yeah, you have 206 bones, but not when you're born. You have quite a few more than that. But your skeleton is actually what keeps you standing upright. That's basically the structure of your body. If you didn't have bones, then you'd sort of be a bit of a blob. Your muscles are, yeah, you can't see them because of my lab coat. I know it's not a lab coat, it's a chef's jacket, but still. This is what a tennis arm does when you wiggle your fingers. Can you see that? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. Ready? Let's see if I can do it with this arm. Yeah. Try it. Try wiggling your fingers like this, and you'll see your actually arms moves like that. May not be as defined. Whoops, I just lost a ring. May not be as defined as my arm. I do play quite a bit of tennis, so I have a bit of, you know, forearm strength. So, you actually have 20 muscles around surrounding your phalanges. Yes, your fingers. You actually have 20 muscles in your hand, which is really, really cool. And every time you take a step, you're actually using 200 muscles. So next time you're walking around town, and just remember that every time you take a step, that's 200 muscles. 200 muscles. 200 muscles. 200 muscles. 200 muscles. Your teeth. Your teeth are actually the hardest substance in your body, and they're actually made out of the same stuff as your nails and your hair. Your stomach, yeah! So your stomach is basically a muscular bag filled with bits of half-digested food and stomach juices. It's great for mushing up all your food, so you actually have an acid in your stomach that, you know, dissolves all your food because you actually can't digest it without it being all sort of mushy and dissolved. So, your liver. Wanna know why they call it a liver? 'Cause you can't liver without it. Insert cricket noises here. Okay. So So, your liver is actually a brownish red blob muscle thing. It's actually your chemical factory. It does over 500 different jobs. And yeah, pretty cool. Your clever kidneys! These are actually your filtering glands. It actually filters your blood of all toxins and things that your body doesn't really want. That's why if you don't have your kidneys, you can't necessarily live very well or very long, because they need to filter out all those toxins. That's why people who have very limited use of their kidneys, or they have a kidney dysfunction, they have to actually be on dialysis, which is a term for, that's basically the term for taking your blood out, filtering it, and then putting it back in. So, blood. Yeah, beautiful blood. Okay guys, well, your blood, you actually have 5.5 litres of it. Well, 5 to 5.5 litres of it, as I mentioned earlier. It's actually your body's transport system, so it actually transports all your oxygen and things around the blood. Your blood actually consists of 3 different things. Your red blood cells, your white blood cells, and your platelets. Your red blood cells are what carries the oxygen around your body. The white blood cells are what sort of fights off the toxins and the bad stuff in your body, so like germs and stuff like that, and infection. And your platelets actually act as a clogging agent, so if you get a cut and you see that little white stuff come out, that's usually your white blood cells and your platelets coming out to clog that wound. If it's infected, you usually start seeing it all get white and gloopy, because that's the white blood cells sort of coming to fight off the infection. And if it's yellow, then get it checked, because it is in fact infected. Your heart. Now we all know what the heart does, don't we? It's the love muscle. It allows you to love. Wrong. It's not the love muscle, you dingbat. It pumps your blood around your body. Get this right. The left side of your heart actually pumps the blood around your body, whereas the right side of your heart pumps it around the lungs. Your heart's actually on the left side of your chest, not the right or in the middle. It actually sits behind your lung and your rib cage to be protected. If it was right in the middle, it'd be easy accessed for things that wanted to, like, you know, bite it out. Like zombies, So, as I said, it's not the love muscle. What actually allows you to love is a chemical in your brain called dopamine, paired off with a lovely other chemical called norepinephrine. So next time someone overly dramatically asks, What is love? You can answer them by underdramatically saying this. Well, love is a chemical reaction that occurs in your brain consisting of dopamine and norepinephrine. The dopamine makes you happy, so looking at that person makes you happy and makes you think that they're the finest person you can have offspring with. The norepinephrine comes into play with the dopamine to tell you that's the only person you want to chase. It focuses your efforts on that one person. And that's what love is. There's a lovely little ditty by Charlie Is So Cool, like, hey, there's Charlie popping up in my science video again. Hi, Charlie. And it's called Chemical Love, which is absolutely completely true, and I love this song because it's awesome and I'm very sciencey. So I'm going to pop in a link for that particular video right at the end of this video, so you can go and check that out too, along with the 9 senses. So, your lungs. They of course allow you to breathe, also using the breathing muscle called a diaphragm. No, that is not a contraceptive method. Well, it is, but not the one I'm talking about. That is a muscle in your body that's shaped like this, well, sort of, and it does this as you're breathing. Yeah. So there you have some interesting sciencey facts about your beastly body. But one more thing before I leave. I have an experiment for you. Now this does require you to take a nice hot bath, but don't worry. All great scientists everywhere have had to make sacrifices. So, when you're in the bath, take note. What colour does your skin turn? A. Blue. B. White. C. Red. Now, using a watch, time how long it takes your skin to get all wrinkly. Now, what do you think might be causing this? Is it A. The heat, B. The old age, or C. The water? So, I'll post the answers to those questions in my next video, which will be chemical chaos. Yeah. Really? Yeah. So there you have it. Our next episode will be Chemical Chaos. So send me some comments with your answers in the doo-woppy below. And yeah, look out for here's those links for Charlie Is So Cool likes. 2 videos. One is The 9 Senses, and 2, bing, is the Chemical Love Song. Do check these 2 videos out because Charlie Is So Cool likes really cool, and bing, there's his channel too, just in case you want to go straight to his channel and watch all his videos because he's really awesome and sciencey as well. He does some fun science videos as well. The last one he did was Fun Science with Stars. That was really fun, so check that one out also when you check on his channel. Yeah, so have a great day!